Anyway, number one, Axios has now turned an oldish story. Harris abandoned her old border wall views to endorse the border bill into a new flip-flop shocker, which reminds David Weigel, friend of the show, of Robert Novak's maxim: you're either a source or you're a target. Now, the media only does adversarial journalism when the Democratic Party denies access, because access journalism works in that way. Access journalism works in this way, where, like, obviously the State Department, if they offer you access, they give you stories every now and then, drip feeds shit, right? Then the media will play ball. But the inverse of that is also true, because the Democratic Party is not playing ball right now with the media by refusing to reveal policies, refusing to take an interview. There's only 69 days remaining. They are petty as fuck. Journalists are petty as hell. They will absolutely start hammering the Harris campaign. Okay? I mean, look at Axios. Look at this. Look. This is from 2 hours ago. Big tech defends free speech amid government pressure. Like, this is what happens when you don't play ball. Okay? You get hammered this way. You feed the beast or the beast feeds on you. CJ Craig, West Wing. Oh my God. I mean, it is technically true. So that's what's going on right now. And I do think that this is a pivot point for the Kamala camp. If they don't come out with interviews soon, okay, they're going to get mad. They're going to start actually daggering her, which is then going to create it's going to create another negative spiral where the Harris camp will then retriangulate and hit even more moderate, more right-wing positions. Okay? And that's where we're at right now. And I called it. I told you guys this already. I told you that, like, I was very fearful that I was very fearful that the Harris camp was going to retriangulate and run to the center.
Off
as they run scared, you know, and they did that at the DNC. They started moderating. Okay. And the media liked that. They definitely went with, like, see how reasonable she is, see how moderate she is. They let the Brad Summer vibes continue, is what I'm saying. They did. Now, of course, the Brad Summer vibes can only continue with the media allowing it to continue for so long. You know, it's not gonna be forever. You can't just, like, sleepwalk your way in the same way that, like, the Democratic Party tried to do with Biden into Brad Autumn. There is no Brad Autumn. It's Brad Summer. Brad Summer's about to end. Okay, it's time for fucking Brad Autumn. Except there is no Brad Autumn. So now they're going to start lasering her. I don't even think I've seen your take on this. Why do you think Harris is avoiding interviews? I'm not really sure. Wait, what? Oh, she's avoiding interviews because I've talked about this already. She's avoiding interviews because, like, they're gonna fucking be like, why'd you flip-flop on all this shit? And they think that they can, like, keep the momentum going on vibes alone for as long as they can. They're gonna be like, why haven't you fucking released your policies? Why? How do you plan to pay for it? If she goes with the progressive camp, if she goes with progressive legislation, they're going to hit her with a, how are you going to pay for it? How are you going to pay for it? I know all of this because I've been in this game for quite a while. I know how the media operates. Okay? I hope CNN does a 180 and calls her a jingoist warhawk. No, they would never do that. That's, if anything, I think Kamala Harris is like, you know, undying fealty that she offered at the altar at the last night of the DNC to the American military industrial complex was a way to try to keep the media off her back a little bit. You know, the most important constituency being the corporations, those who benefit from the continuation of American imperialism. That wasn't for the voters. There is not really a voter out there there's not really a voter out there in a swing state that's like, yeah, that's I'm gonna vote for Kamala Harris. I was leaning against Kamala Harris, but like because she's the NATO candidate, I'm gonna vote for her. Just like there wasn't one for Joe Biden, there isn't a guy like that for Kamala Harris either. Okay, but when they say stuff like that, they're saying that so that, you know, corporate backed media doesn't fucking start lasering her pretty aggressively, and allows this like momentum to continue. So I think that's what it is. I really think it's not even that complex for interviews. I really think it's that they don't have a platform policy decided fully because it's only been 4 weeks and 2 internal people. I know they really wanted a ceasefire this weekend to be able to lean on that and rebuilding Gaza for policy as well, but Blinken is pissing them off. I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy that like a person in the administration can do that. You know what I mean? That's crazy. And now, and I told you this as well. All of these fucking Silicon Valley tech geeks are going right wing. Okay. They're going nutty mode. They were already right wing, but they're going extra right wing. Like they're going from like libertarian right, hyper capitalist, but doesn't care about like gay and trans people, whatever, who gives a shit, you know, let them live, to straight up culture war right wing. Okay. Maybe she's holding off on press because she's so left that they're afraid of Kamala. What? That if she explains her policies because they're left, she'll lose votes. You can't be a 14-month subscriber in this community and unironically think that staying on message with like progressive policies and explaining to people that they're not radical at all is going to cause you to lose votes. Like, you're joking, I think. That is also additionally funny, thinking that like Kamala Harris is a secret communist. Like the assumption that Kamala Harris is both a secret communist and also paired up with the assumption that like the media and or rather people like voters despise, you know, feeding children is doubly silly. She's refusing to talk to them because they're not state-owned and she does not recognize private business. I agree. Who do you support? I haven't watched you since 2020. First time watching you in 4 years. Who do you support, by the way? Yo, I haven't watched you since COVID. Who do you support? Who do you support? I haven't watched you. I support you, dude. Okay? I support the American working class. That's who I support. I hope that makes sense for you. That's crazy. Nebraskans don't care about NATO. They're fearful of tornadoes. What will Kamala do to kill those tornadoes? That's funny. Have you considered that by not feeding your own children will be considered owning the lives by some? Yeah, I mean, that's like crazy people. Yeah, but did you notice the new trend? The Silicon Valley and most of its VCs are now into defense tech and is also attracts a very specific breed of right-winger. Yeah, I have noticed that. And I'm talking about it. I've been talking about it for a while. They've like done this weird fucking pivot to the right. And we're going to be talking about it in a second. But I just wanted to say once again that Brass Summer is coming to an end. Kamala Harris's campaign needs to recognize that quickly. They cannot expect the media to keep playing ball with them if they don't give them any fucking access. Okay?
Called off 1/3 of this campaign, and members of the news media have let her. She's not answering questions about. We know her position. She's against fracking. She's against private health insurance. She's against gasoline cars. That's what she told us when she ran for president last time. She doesn't want to talk about those positions. That's why she's stalling it.
And she should do an interview. I'm just politically saying, Brad, and you have to acknowledge that it hasn't been that bad to this point.
She's going to show up.
It is coming.
She'll show up at NPR or somewhere like that, but she's not going to take tough questions.
She's going to show up on a network, and she's going to have a sit-down conversation. She has already said, her campaign has already said that that's going to happen. If you're waiting for the date, everybody else is waiting for the date.
It's a month.
She's actually on the ground. She's doing bus tours across the state of Georgia. She is talking to the voters.
She's the last one in the room.
Let's hear it.
Yep. Told you. They're going to start chirping. They're not just going to start chirping. They're going to start actually doing adversarial journalism on certain issues. Google's former CEO was on NPR the other day saying we need to spend more on AI for military use, and Israel's doing a good job with it. I hate it here. Yeah, dude, that's what I always think of. When I think of like what the most efficient like baby murder machine is, I think of I think of Israel. I know Hasan cares because he shouted me out one time when I was having a tough day while working, and he said, "Here for you." I'll never forget that. Damn, dude. It's time for the stream to address the corn sweat. What the fuck is that? What the hell's a corn sweat? Holy fuck, the copium is strong. What do you mean? Lemon Fayao, a journalist acting like political activists? What? Miss Riz, you are aching for a band today, okay? Scoop, Harris's campaign is beefing up their youth organizing strategy. It plans to invest in new digital ads on campus and social media, double its youth organizing staff around the country, and launch a college campus tour in battleground states. No mention of podcast live stream appearances, though. Yeah, I mean, I don't think Kamala herself should do the fucking live stream appearances. I think a surrogate would probably be better. Weigel's tweet saying the media is going to push false info to get an interview was fun. No, they're not going to push false info. No, this isn't a false information. No, they're just going to start being critical. They're going to say, hey, remember when you flip-flopped on the border? That's it. That's what's coming. Now, some won't. There will be some holdouts, okay? But like Axios is the first to go. They're obviously center right anyway. But it's coming. Please don't roast me. Can you elaborate on adversarial journalism? Yeah, there's I mean, this is reductive, but there's two different kinds of journalism. You have access journalism and adversarial journalism. Adversarial journalism is when you actually do what, you know, journalists are supposed to do, which is like ask tough questions, try to get some truth, hold people in positions of power to account, right? Whereas access journalism is the exact opposite, where you just kind of write as a stenographer. You write whatever an official tells you as though it is fact. For example, the media in general does that for the State Department consistently, especially as it pertains to like shit relating to Israel. You know?